and welcome to my channel. Today, one of the things I wanted to talk about was having top ramen souls and people being aware of people who have, top ramen souls. Now, top ramen soul comes from having basically a top ramen life. People don't seem to heal properly these days, and nobody wants to go within and do the work, do the spiritual work, because it's a very painful thing. Instead, they rather water down their pain with material things. Now these people look like they're blessed, because of all the material riches they have, but they're spiritually, emotionally, morally bankrupt half the time. And that's what you do. You just put water in top ramen. It doesn't really provide any nutrients. It's very high in salt and processed materials. And you see how cheap that stuff is. They package this stuff on a regular, and that is just devoid of any nutrients. So people with top ramen soul, they don't provide any value to your life. You might be able to have fun with them or whatever, or what society has told you is supposed to be fun, or what they tell you is supposed to be fun, but it's not really somewhere that you want to be. You can feel how devoid they are just by being around them and doing the things that they do, and trying to fit in with them. You can feel that that void of nutrients, that deficit of nutrient. You have spiritual nutrient that you have going into your soul. And the more you do this, the more you lose yourself, you lose your balance, you lose your gift of sight, and you lose your faith as well. And they says walk by faith, not by sight. Well, you lose both. Now you're walking around blind and hopeless. Because what is faith but hope? Hope that, and faith is, not only is it hope, it is a knowing. So you know nothing, you see nothing, and you're hopeless. And that's a bad position to be in, especially in times like this, to just be absolutely hopeless at that. Like, at least, people who do some things on their own, they have hope. But yeah, these top ramen people, man, they'll get you. They'll have you, trying to win their popularity contests. They love competing and comparing, and that does nothing but take from you. You can try to compete and compare with somebody, but look at what you're doing to yourself when you do this, right? You're taking your energy and focusing on what somebody else is doing and trying to top them instead of top who you were, yesterday. Or you're dragging yourself also down to their level, down to their vibration by participating in their activities and trying to compete with them on their own playing field. They have the home field advantage in this low vibrational nonsense. So why would you bother when people just like that just drag you down and beat you with experience? They love to argue and things like that. So you gotta let them have these arguments, knowing that argument is going nowhere and it will produce no results, no positive results on either party. Definitely not for you. And it's going nowhere fast. Know when you're talking in circles, and know when to cut that off. And just, if they say 2 + 2 is 5, just say yeah, because you got to carry a 1 and walk the fuck off. It's that simple. You can walk off. You have the power. That's why we have free will, to be able to make these choices, and you choose your consequence. So when you choose to sit there and argue with one of these top ramen souls, you're choosing to strip your body of spiritual nutrients that you so desperately need in times like these. So, and when you have certain conversations, in their conversation, you can feel, the spiritual nutrients just leaving your soul when you talk to these people, because they don't have anything to talk about but anybody else. Because if they talked about themselves, y'all would both be bored and yawning. Y'all would both be, wanting to end the conversation. Those are the type of people that'll text your phone and say, want to know what's up. And they'll have a conversation to follow. They'll call you, hey, what's up? It's the only thing they say before they follow it with 2 hours of just holding the phone with you on the other end, trying to start a conversation, try to keep a conversation going, if there was any to begin with. So you want to cut it, keep it brief with these people, and not waste too much time on it, because that's all they are, is like, really, they're just a waste of time. And I hate to say it like that because they are human. They're just, they just have something else in their soul that is just not divine. And, you know, it is just, it's not healthy at all. And so when I say what's in your diet, best believe I'm talking about what's in your spiritual diet, if nothing else, because we got to heal ourselves from the inside out, like these rooted foods. And you can also pay attention to the type of food they eat, like if their favorite restaurant is McDonald's, that's one of the signs right there, because you can guarantee if they're feeding their body McDonald's, Whack Arnold's, whatever you want to call it, all that processed bullshit, all they're doing when they're having a conversation with you is regurgitating something else that somebody else told them, or something they read. Because when we talk, we're literally repeating things that we already know, but what they know is of the world. It's worldly things. They're talking about the latest hip hop song that's out, or what new clothing brand is out, or what Coachella or whoever the fuck they just put it out, like these rap artists, and they're always trying to keep up with them and or at least trying to imitate them and look like them. But those people are also spiritually bankrupt, so they get their deficit from people who are already at a higher deficit than them, and they want to, the glitz and glamour make them look like, oh, they're a chosen one. It doesn't. Material things have nothing to do with chosen ones. In fact, it may even be the lack thereof of the material things that, or the desire for material things. It's okay to want nice things and have nice things, but to use it as a conversation piece because that's the only thing you have to talk about, or you get led with what you lead with. So if you lead with material things, people are gonna dangle that carrot in your face all day, because they know if you see the carrot, you're gonna forever strive for it, because you lack the intelligence and the spiritual messages, these spiritual downloads, to know that, hey man, these people are playing me, because at the end of the day, these artists that you see, most of the stuff, they don't even own it. They put these cars and houses and clothes on the TV, and they try to gloat and show their stuff off to you, and they don't even own the shit, and they have to, at the end of the day, they have to pay it all back, and usually they pay with their soul. So a lot of these people, they'll go against you, but they have to find a way in first, because the devil needs a personality. See, they want to get into, they want to talk to you, they want to weigh in to talk to you, and then they want to know about you. They ask a bunch of questions, a bunch of odd questions like that, try to find out little nuances about your life, but they never quite get all the details before they go out there and try to slander your name and try to replace you, basically, and try to be your clone is pretty much what they're trying to do. So these top ramen souls, they want to come around, try to get to know you, quote unquote. They don't really want to know you, they just want to know about you, and then try to clone, try to repeat everything you say and do, and try to say that they're the ones who came up with it, da 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 da. But you also shouldn't be bothered by that, because your gifts come from God, their gifts come from you. So what does that say about them? They won't be able to exist. They will cease to thrive without you and your gifts that are God-given. And when God gives you something, it is boundless, it is endless, it is abundant, to no end. There's no number, no exponent you can put on that. It is boundless and endless. Versus these people, they might get something they said, like from an ex, and even if you get something you said from an ex, you still get the spiritual downloads from God. Even if you wanted to, you can amplify and add on to that to make it give it more nutrients, basically, to feed whoever you decide to feed. Because remember, we do have free will, and the whole thing is you need to get around higher vibrational people, and for that you have to vibrate higher and get around more nutrient-rich people, so nutrient-rich people. So, get around your soul tribe, basically. So your soul tribe is gonna be who feeds you, on every level. They can feed you physically, and it's not some bullshit. If they're gonna feed you like sweets and things like that, it's gonna be straight organic. It's not gonna be processed. Like they got an awesome place called Mazzetti's, man. There's nothing processed there. Or they'll feed you, certain types of alkaline waters or sparkling water, things like that. You know, it's not going to be, oh, I'm bringing soda and beer to the joint, you know, all the time. You know, alcohol is good. It can purify, especially wine. I forgot what the chemical was in there that can purify you, and it's actually a health benefit to drink wine, but not in excess. Nothing is ever good in excess. And but these others, these demonically possessed people, they'll bring around, you know, it's like pizza is good every once in a while, but that's all they want to bring around. That all they want to bring around is you know, those cheese and cracker trays or whatever. I'm not saying those can't be good and organic, but that's all they want to bring around. And dairy actually brings on congestion, you know, because, and it's not that we're lactose intolerant, maybe we're just not supposed to be eating it, or at least not as eating as much of it. I'm talking to my black folks here. And you just have, as I said before in another video, you have to pay attention to their energy. You got to pay attention to how they move, because some people will need your help, but they'll try to pretend like they just want to be around you and be buddy, or they just want to help you. Now you got to watch how people move. But if it comes with a price, if it comes with them looming the fact that they helped you over your head, and they're always reminding you, oh, remember that time I helped you, blah blah, you know, that's the favor they did that was never supposed to run out of interest. let's say that it was never supposed to run out of interest. You'll be forever remembering that, and they'll be forever reminding you. And you know, that's how they try to lock you in. And as far as relationships, some of them will refuse to give you closure, right? But the whole thing is, you shouldn't need closure from someone else. The closure should be that you moved on and healed. Like, to hell with what they have to say, and to hell with their apologies, to hell with them explaining themselves. You don't need to know. You know, that's for them to figure out, and for you to move on from and heal from, because that person was toxic. They provided nothing of value to you. You know, and they're talking about high value men and women when all they have to offer is money and regurgitated education. It's just like, that's what education is regurgitation. Intelligence is actually, you know, you learn how to apply the education, and it took intelligence to create education, to put that in a format that is understandable to other people. So it's very intelligence is very versatile, whereas education is pretty much straightforward, and, you know, do as I say type. And that's the intelligence they have. Well, not even intelligence, they have education. They don't have intelligence, because they can't even think for themselves. They have to regurgitate everything, and that's what education is. And intelligence is the application of that education. And these people are of very low intelligence, and you can tell. You know, you'll know by talking to them. You know, you just gotta, you know, go ahead and make it a division, a division problem or equation. You know, when it's clearly a math addition equation. You know, 2 + 2 = 5. Okay, cool. Carry the 1. It's all good. You know, let them have it. You know, you don't have time to be arguing with these people. And when you know they're stupid, that's the whole thing, is they try to frustrate you to the point that you sit up there and talk in circles and argue in circles with them on something that is so far beneath you. You're on calculus, and they're talking about basic math. You know, they're talking about stick figures and tally marks. That's what they're talking about. And you're on here, you know, E = MC da 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 da, and that's where they want you at, because that's where it's comfortable for them, you know. And it's not even comfortable for them, because they can't even master it. You know, they're still uncomfortable in that area. So for you to be up there in calculus, they're gonna try to bring you down into algebra first, you know, and try to pretend like, and you're gonna clearly see they don't know what the hell they're talking about in algebra, and then drag you right on down to basic math and act like they did something. It's like playing chess with a pigeon. Why would you bother? You know, the pigeon's just gonna shit on the board and walk away as if they won. Let them have their false victory, you know, because that's all they're doing, is running around creating false victories by appearing to win. It's one thing to appear to win, another thing to actually win. It's more fulfilling. It's more your soul. When you appear like you're winning, you're an empty soul. You're an empty vessel, a weaker vessel. Because there's no nutrients in you to fuel you to be powerful at all within yourself or anybody else. Just stop talking to these people, man. When you see you dealing with a top ramen soul, man, go ahead and move from around that person and go get around, some soul food. And I'm not talking about the unhealthy kind either. I'm talking about the food that's gonna, really make you feel complete and fulfilled, and so on. Even if it's by yourself, even if you have to go and get by yourself and recharge, because these people can be draining. They're exhausting to be around. They will test your spirit, test your soul, test everything, test every ounce of patience you have until you probably catch a case, and that's the last thing you want, especially as a chosen one, to go into that, because the jail is full of these narcissistic type people. Like, they may not have material things, but they do want power and dominion over everybody else in there. Everybody wants to be top dog, and everybody wants to be Billy Badass in there, until they realize what's what. Not everybody's gonna be it. There's gonna be one, and it probably won't be somebody just coming in either. So you definitely don't want to be throwing away your life over these people, because that's what they want. They want you to sit there, lose your top, and just lose your whole livelihood, lose everything you live for, you love, and try to act like, so also they can pretend like, that's their lifestyle, that's what they live and love, and they're just in a perpetual state of just being fake as fuck. It's just, that's all it is. It's just falsehood. All they want to do is sit around and just be fake and try to make other people's lives miserable that they see vibrating on a really high level, that are really happy with themselves and their lives. So with that, I'll leave you. Drink water, feel properly, exercise, educate yourself, and learn something new. Tell the world what you're worth. Tell the world your worth, the worth of your time and your money. Your time and your energy. Let the world know what you're worth. Life is too short to be worried about somebody else's business, so it's best just to mind your own. Peace.